Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So you look at the book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 24. It reads, Im kesef talveh et ami. If you will loan money to my nation, I'm translating it literally, et ha'ani imach, the poor person with you, lo tihiyeh lo kenosheh, you should not be to him like a creditor. It means you shouldn't run after him and to pursue the money in a very harsh manner. Lo tisimum alav neshech, you should not put on him any neshech. Now, what is neshech? Literally, the word neshech comes from the etymology of the word nishicha, which means biting, but here it means in this context, interest. Let's understand, this is talking about the greatest mitzvah, that is the greatest precept, namely known as charity. However, within charity, there's a big difference when one gives somebody a handout to when one gives somebody a loan. In fact, the Talmud tells us that this is the highest level of benevolence, the highest level of kindness that one can perform. You see, when you give someone a loan, it doesn't inherently mean that they're poor, and certainly there is no embarrassment in it. Even rich people take a loan. Very rich people go to the bank to take big loans. Sometimes a person may be worth a lot in assets, but they don't have fluid cash, and they take a loan. For a short time period, they need that cash. It doesn't make them poor. It doesn't make them look poor. It therefore does not embarrass them. So this is the highest level of tzedakah, of quote-unquote charity. But look what God says. First of all, if you loan people money, et ami, the word ami means my nation. However, as you know, in the Torah scroll, meaning in the original text, there are no vowels. So the same word could be read imi, with me. What God is saying is, when you loan somebody money, you're with me. First of all, you're very close to me. This is something very special. As I said, this is the highest level of charity observance. But number two, essentially, you're giving me a loan. If that person doesn't pay, that person, for whatever reason, doesn't stand up to their responsibility, to their commitment, don't worry, you're with me. I pay, and I pay well. I pay my bills well. So that's number one. Number two, what does the verse continue? It says, the poor man with you. Now, what does this mean, the poor man with you? Literally, you can mean it's saying the poor person amongst you. That's how some of the translations present it. However, like I said, literally read, it says the poor man with you. And this is a fantastic and perhaps the most important aspect of charity giving. It's not enough to just write that check and just, hey, take it, or just throw the person a few pennies or a few dollars, even many dollars. You have to be with the person. In a sense, you have to see yourself with the person. You have to participate with the person. You have to have the empathy, the sympathy for the person. Sit down with the person, make them feel good. In fact, Jewish law says, the Talmud explains, that sometimes a person can give a tremendous amount of money to charity, and yet they haven't fulfilled their mitzvah well. And sometimes a person can give very little money because they don't have, because you just can't give more than what they're giving, or perhaps not even give any money at all, and they have done perhaps one of the greatest acts of charity, and that is when you try to speak with the person, when you empathize with the person, when you comfort the person. That's what the verse is saying, the poor man with you, that you have to be with the poor person. Make it as if this is someone that's with you. Of course, we also learn out from this, practically speaking, that the people closest to you should be first in line to receive your benevolence, to receive your help. Obviously, and you help the people closest to you in the sense, first of all, if it's a relative who's in need, if it's a friend who's in need, a neighbor who's in need, comes before a stranger, comes before somebody who lives in a far and distant place. Some people get very excited about helping the people in the other end of the world, which is a great, fantastic, and altruistic endeavor. But what's about the people near you? There's people in need. Don't forget about them. Maybe divide it up, or maybe give them first, and then what's left, help the people on the other end of the world. Of course, there can be an argument made. The people on the other end of the world have no neighbors who can help them. That's also true, and that needs to be weighed. But in general, the Torah says those who are closest to you should get your help first. But the bottom line is that you have to feel the other person's pain. That is the ultimate in giving charity.